Penetration testing and secure development frameworks are essential companions to a SOC 2 program, providing continuous assurance that security controls are both effective and resilient under real-world conditions. While SOC 2 attestation focuses on demonstrating that policies, procedures, and controls are designed and operating effectively, assurance testing, such as penetration tests and bug bounties, validate how those controls perform when challenged. This alignment between attestation and validation brings SOC 2 to life, linking documentation with operational proof. By embedding these activities within CC7, System Operations, CC8, Change Management, and the privacy criteria, organizations can show maturity that goes beyond compliance, demonstrating an ongoing commitment to defensive and offensive control validation. Penetration testing brings irreplaceable value to a SOC 2 framework. Unlike automated vulnerability scans, which identify potential exposures, pen tests simulate adversarial behavior to assess how well defenses detect, resist, and recover from attacks. These tests reveal exploitable weaknesses that only appear under complex, chained conditions, precisely the kind that real attackers exploit. Beyond technical findings, penetration testing validates detection and response workflows, showing whether alerts trigger promptly and whether incident responders can contain simulated threats effectively. The ultimate outcome is not just a list of vulnerabilities, but measurable evidence that the organization's defenses work as intended, or clear direction on how they should improve. Integration with SOC 2 criteria ensures that pen testing outputs contribute directly to the attestation process. Test results align primarily with the security and availability trust services categories, evidencing both preventative and detective control performance. Mapping findings to CC7 demonstrates how operational monitoring detects anomalous activity, while aligning remediation and retesting with CC8 illustrates effective change management. When pen test results and follow-up actions are preserved in the audit repository, they substantiate claims of continuous monitoring. This integration transforms penetration testing from a periodic security check into a governance mechanism, one that continuously reinforces the trust commitments SOC 2 is built to prove. Bug bounty programs complement formal pen testing by adding persistent, real-world testing coverage. By inviting ethical hackers to identify vulnerabilities through a structured, responsible disclosure program, organizations maintain continuous exposure testing across a wide range of attack surfaces. Clear scope definitions, reward tiers, and disclosure procedures ensure ethical and legal engagement. Each submission must go through triage, classification, and validation before acceptance, with verified issues entering the standard remediation backlog. In mature programs, bug bounties serve as a live operational metric of system resilience, showing how quickly and effectively the organization identifies and mitigates threats in the wild. The Secure Software Development Framework, SSDF, published by NIST, brings systematic discipline to secure coding and build practices. SSDF defines key practices across the software lifecycle: planning, developing, verifying, and releasing secure code. Threat modeling and peer review become embedded steps rather than ad hoc activities, and static code analysis, SAST, and dependency scanning occur automatically in CI/CD pipelines. The outputs, reports, issue tickets, and approvals form tangible evidence under SOC 2's CC8 change management controls. By integrating SSDF, organizations demonstrate that they don't just fix vulnerabilities post-release, they prevent them by design, embedding security assurance directly into the development lifecycle. Supply chain and build integrity have become equally vital, and the Supply Chain Levels for Software Artifacts, SLSA, from Google, defines a structured approach to software provenance. SLSA ensures that each artifact, binary, container, or package can be traced back to its origin and verified as tamper-free. Signed build attestations, cryptographic verification of dependencies, and reproducible builds collectively demonstrate control over the software supply chain. These activities align with SOC 2 CC8 requirements for integrity and change management by proving that software components are trusted, validated, and unaltered. Implementing SLSA raises the assurance bar from reactive code scanning to proactive, verifiable software lineage. Evidence from testing activities provides the foundation for SOC 2 auditors to verify the control environment's effectiveness. This includes final penetration testing reports with sensitive details redacted for distribution, remediation tickets linked to specific findings, and validation scans confirming fixes. Maintaining proof of retesting and closure ensures that no issue disappears without documentation. Dashboards from bug bounty platforms showing submission trends, acceptance rates, and closure timelines provide real-time insight into the security posture. Collectively, these artifacts serve as operational evidence that control testing, remediation, and continuous improvement are all functioning as part of a living compliance ecosystem. Metrics and key risk indicators, KRIs, allow leadership to quantify the impact of security testing and improvement efforts. Measuring the number of critical vulnerabilities remediated each quarter reflects responsiveness. Tracking average time to patch from discovery to closure provides an efficiency baseline. The ratio of accepted to false positive bug bounty submissions measures both program quality and signal accuracy. SSDF adoption rates across engineering teams show how deeply secure development practices have been integrated. These metrics bridge technical progress with executive visibility, proving that SOC 2 isn't just a compliance exercise, it's a performance management system for security and resilience. Governance ensures that penetration testing, bug bounties, and secure development practices remain strategically managed. Security engineering should own these programs, coordinating testing cadence, triage processes, and remediation oversight. Executive review of critical findings ensures that risk decisions receive appropriate visibility and that deferred issues have documented acceptance. Quarterly summaries of testing outcomes, metrics, and improvements should feed into compliance and risk committees. This governance rhythm demonstrates maturity, aligning operational testing programs with enterprise risk management. When leadership engagement becomes routine, testing evolves from a technical necessity to a board-level assurance pillar. Automation takes these programs from periodic to continuous. Integrating scanning tools and code validation checks into CI/CD pipelines ensures that every build is evaluated against policy standards automatically. When vulnerabilities exceed SLA thresholds, alerts can trigger automatically and escalate to compliance dashboards. Evidence snapshots, SAST results, ticket states, and patch confirmations can be generated and stored continuously, ready for auditor sampling. Automation ensures repeatability, removes human bias, and keeps the evidence trail complete, even across rapid development cycles. By embedding testing logic into the development process, organizations achieve compliance by design rather than by retrospective effort. Vendor and subservice inclusion ensures that the assurance net extends beyond internal operations. Cloud and SaaS providers often control critical components of the environment, and their testing cadence directly influences customer assurance. Requesting proof of their pen testing schedules, reviewing SOC 2 or ISO attestations, and aligning scopes to shared responsibility models close a common audit gap. Documenting these steps within the system description confirms that oversight extends throughout the supply chain. This level of diligence transforms third-party dependencies from potential risks into audited elements of a trustworthy ecosystem. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Independence is a defining principle for credible security testing. Penetration testers must operate separately from the teams that design, build, or manage the systems under review. This segregation eliminates conflicts of interest and preserves objectivity in results. Independent testers, either trusted third parties or internal teams reporting outside of development management, ensure findings reflect true risk, not internal assumptions. Each engagement should include a written statement of independence verifying that testers had no operational responsibility for the target systems. Internal cross-reviews of findings further enhance accuracy and confidence in remediation plans. For SOC 2, this independence demonstrates that validation activities are unbiased and trustworthy, key evidence for control effectiveness under CC7 and CC8. The remediation lifecycle is where testing results turn into measurable improvement. Every vulnerability must move through a documented process: discovery, analysis, assignment, fix implementation, validation, and closure. Tracking systems like Jira or ServiceNow ensure accountability by assigning each finding to an owner with clear deadlines based on severity. After fixes are applied, validation scans or manual retests confirm resolution. Screenshots, configuration exports, or updated reports serve as proof of closure. Tagging each artifact with control IDs in the evidence repository links them to relevant SOC 2 criteria, creating a complete chain of documentation. This lifecycle approach ensures that every discovered weakness becomes a lesson learned, not a recurring audit point. Penetration test results frequently overlap with incident management, and mature programs treat exploitable findings as near incidents requiring formal response. When a vulnerability demonstrates potential data exposure, the security operations team should engage containment and root cause analysis workflows, following the same rigor applied to real incidents. Root cause analysis records identify process breakdowns, such as missing patches, insecure configurations, or lack of code review that allowed the issue to exist. If any customer data was potentially impacted, customer impact analyses must be performed and documented. Integrating test results with incident response closes the operational loop between proactive testing and reactive response, reinforcing SOC 2 CC9 compliance and ensuring lessons feed back into preventive controls. Continuous education underpins sustainable, secure development practices. Developers must receive recurring training on frameworks like OWASP Top 10, NIST SSDF, and emerging secure coding standards. These sessions should go beyond awareness to include practical exercises, fixing common vulnerabilities, analyzing exploit examples, and applying secure design principles. Completion rates and post-training assessments measure effectiveness, while tracking defect reduction rates quantifies training impact. Findings from pen tests and bug bounties can feed directly into future training modules, ensuring lessons translate into improved coding habits. Maintaining attendance and progress records provides auditors with evidence of a proactive, learning-driven security culture under SOC 2's competency and awareness expectations. Modern software integrity also depends on automating provenance through frameworks like SLSA. Automating the generation and verification of signed build manifests ensures that every binary or container deployed to production is traceable to its source code and build system. Dependency locks and hash validations prevent substitution attacks or unverified components from entering the supply chain. Provenance evidence, cryptographically signed and stored, should be reviewed during SOC 2 Type 2 sampling to demonstrate continuous adherence to CC8's integrity and change controls. SLSA's automation elevates security from reactive patching to proactive proof of artifact authenticity, giving auditors confidence that what was tested and released remains the same artifact running in production. Cross-framework synergy strengthens both efficiency and assurance. SSDF and SLSA align naturally with SOC 2's CC8 requirements for change and development lifecycle controls. They also overlap with ISO 2734's Application Security Management Framework and NIST 800-218's Secure Software Development Practices. By mapping these controls, organizations can reuse evidence, such as code review logs, policy documents, and signed build attestations across multiple frameworks. This unified control structure demonstrates secure-by-design principles, showing customers that compliance is part of engineering DNA rather than a separate afterthought. Communicating these alignments externally builds customer assurance and simplifies responses during procurement reviews. Avoiding common pitfalls requires attention to detail and discipline. Many organizations stop at producing a penetration test report without tracking remediation to completion. Others lose traceability by failing to link findings to change tickets or by omitting evidence of successful retests. Incomplete scopes or missing approval letters weaken credibility and create audit gaps. The remedy lies in well-defined workflows, documented governance checkpoints, and centralized dashboards that visualize testing, remediation, and validation progress. By enforcing consistent reporting and closure standards, organizations ensure that every test not only identifies risk, but also demonstrates measurable improvement, a core SOC 2 principle. Testing maturity progresses through distinct stages that mirror organizational growth. Early efforts rely on an annual external pen test to satisfy audit expectations. As programs evolve, they incorporate continuous bug bounty testing, ensuring real-time vulnerability coverage. Mature organizations integrate SSDF and SLSA validation directly into CI/CD pipelines, achieving continuous, automated security assurance. The most advanced environments use predictive threat intelligence to prioritize testing and anticipate risks before they manifest. This continuous validation loop, embedded within the SDLC, reflects the highest level of SOC 2 maturity, where offensive and defensive activities form a seamless, self-improving ecosystem of control assurance. Auditors evaluating these practices expect to see tangible, verifiable evidence. This includes penetration testing reports with clear scope definitions and redacted technical details, remediation and closure tickets, and validation scan results proving fixes. Bug bounty dashboards, triage records, and communication logs show ongoing monitoring. SSDF artifacts such as policy documents, code review logs, and static analysis reports, combined with signed build attestations from SLSA, provide a holistic picture of both software security and supply chain integrity. These materials confirm that testing is consistent, results are resolved, and evidence is maintained in alignment with SOC 2's rigor for completeness and traceability. To maintain relevance, metrics reporting must follow a defined cadence. Monthly dashboards should track vulnerability remediation rates and open issue counts. Quarterly reports can show SSDF adoption and developer training progress, while annual summaries evaluate bug bounty trends and testing coverage expansion. Continuous integration and risk KPIs, such as mean time to remediate or recurring vulnerability frequency, feed directly into compliance dashboards for leadership review. These insights drive resource allocation, identify emerging risks, and demonstrate to auditors that the organization measures, monitors, and improves its security controls on an ongoing basis. Governance linkage completes the picture by connecting technical testing to executive accountability. Security leaders must report testing outcomes, risk trends, and remediation progress in quarterly compliance and risk committee meetings. Systemic issues, such as recurring control failures or process gaps, should be escalated to internal audit for further examination. Integrating penetration testing metrics into enterprise KRIs ensures that executives view testing as part of organizational performance, not just a technical function. When remediation tracking and risk reporting converge on a unified compliance roadmap, security testing becomes a cornerstone of continuous assurance and informed decision-making. In summary, pairing penetration testing, bug bounty programs, SSDF practices, and SLSA supply chain safeguards creates a comprehensive validation ecosystem that reinforces SOC 2's purpose trust through evidence. These interconnected elements deliver transparency, independence, and closure proof, turning compliance into continuous assurance. By embedding validation directly into development and operations, organizations demonstrate that their defenses are constantly tested, monitored, and improved. This balanced blend of offensive simulation and defensive automation not only satisfies auditors but also strengthens customer confidence. As the SOC 2 journey scales across organizations of different sizes, these practices become the foundation for resilience, readiness, and sustainable trust.